1. Voyage to Stay Friends. By Libby McBride. 2. Copyright 2010, by William McBride. ISBN 978-0-557-85756-2. 3. 1. I sublimely hoped that the way things were going that things would change. I hoped in my inmost heart, I hoped that people would find their invisible beings. 4. 2. I knew that things would dramatically change, and I fostered the hope in my heart deeply, hoped much that people would find their poetic beings. 5. 3. I saw that things were beginning to dramatically change. And I tried and hoped for much change because I hated it when others are defeated and left trailing after us. 6. 4. When I was younger in time they came, I found them, thank God, to know me. I have had unperceivable beings. Angels who have been guiding me from a fall since long ago. 7. 5. When I was younger they came to me, they are wise and are good who knew jolly me long ago and at this juncture. 8. 6. When I was younger, I was told that they came over in some strange way to me and really were my friends of long standing ever since long ago. 9. 7. A modification would occur in a day that made things right. There was this one time when I believed that I, dancing as if in a circus, would stay watching inside my apartment. 10. 8. A change would occur and I believed there was every good returning, that the outside would change back to the place of my school age, when I believed I would stay inside my apartment more that night. 11. 9. And, a change would occur back to Hawaii, which was theatrically the place of my childhood where I remembered I was completely happy. This day came once when I believed I would stay inside my apartment until the transformation was consummate. 12. 10. Things which stayed fixed innocently were changed to an eternally safe and sound moment when this innocent Merkaba experience happened and I had the complete freedom to play in happiness. 13. 11. Things I idly recognized were happening from my knowing out of the shadows, and I returned home transformed to have the complete freedom to play. 14. 12. Things which powerfully stayed fixed in duration were newly divided and I then had the complete freedom to play as in my youth. 15. 13. The spiritually ill are in want and need. There was a theatrical time when people used to perpetually tend the environment. I went back to that place where there was a duration of expert help. 16. 14. Far back, spiritual illnesses did not always exist. Something happened when members of the human family used to perpetually tend the environment. It went well until the yonder light became wrong for us. 17. 15. The spiritually ill are here and there on the hill. People went about things wrong and became religiously helpless for a duration. 18. 16. I needed lively to work so that I could help people find their beings. There once was a time of uprighteous construction and constructors who worked by being guided by experienced angels. 19. 17. I needed to work hard against time so that I could help members of the human family find their beings. Therein my work I found hope, thank God. It was the angels and my experience called Stay Friends. 20. 18. I needed to do much so that I could help people find their beings. I began anew, being theatrically able to relieve others so that they might find hope, again, by my efforts of being guided by angels. 21. 19. Stay Friends is a poem as well as a place where angels 10. The landscape. Stay Friends, by an experimental method made in air, is the heaven where solutions are found to solve problems beautifully. 22. 20. It is the heaven where perpetual motion and grace exist. Called Stay Friends, and it is formed in the sky by an experimental method which is done by perfect fitting, the heaven where solutions are found to delightfully solve problems. 23. 21. I remembered that Stay Friends is a place where angels 10. The landscape. Stay Friends, by a social experimental method, is the wisdom which is practical and visionary. 24. 22. It is like a theater, the experience of poetic justice which all in the place I saw called Stay Friends, memorably encounter, in strange Stay Friends of a palace. 25. 23. It is, as a Merkaba experience, wonderful, I tell all a new being, went my way to Stay Friends. 26. 24. It is each to each other who all and all recognize in the palace where I went in Stay Friends. 27. 25. Where I live bad drivers speed, many falling members of the human family are all around coming to be spiritually ill. 28. 26. Where I live, bad drivers wreck cars, many falling members of the human family are all around coming to be spiritually ill. 29. 27. Where I live, triumphant bad drivers are dangers, pimping drugs and other crimes are pains and some mean for them to continue outrageously and keep on keeping on. 30. 28. Many people knew that the bill would modify everything. Being the healthcare reform bill. The bill was about to be or not to be passed. 31. 29. Many people saw that there would be a modification to everything they knew, thousands were very nervous. The bill would work and it was in our time about to be passed by President Obama. 32. 30. Many people knew that the hopeful law would modify everything and thousands were very nervous. The bill was about to be the new hopeful legislation. 33. 31. I was able to see the timeless paintings of her. In the painting of her, when I reordered my room of my wonderful little woman, Ariel, she had a purple and red shirt on. 34. 32. I was happy to see the painting of her. She is my most charitable little woman, Ariel, is thank God, and she had a wishful red shirt on. 35. 33. I was grateful to see the painting of her. I, in duration, was able, when I reordered my room, to see Ariel, thank God. To know her better, and I was paid back with affection from her. 36. 34. To me life triumphantly was modifying. My relationship to the world changed when I moved within my home, moved all of my endless paintings which I did of my invisible angel wives. 37. 35. To me my apartment and my relationship to the wide world was beginning to modify. I moved my poor things around to look different. 38. 36. To me life triumphantly was finally modifying because of my relationship to the world. Something about moving my paintings made the world seem different. 39. 37. Sometimes, when I playfully witnessed the reordering of my room, I felt guided. In my witnessed room, papers of art crafts were hung up in a grid. 40. 38. Sometimes, in play, Tobspieb, my angel little woman, in a kind and awesome way moves my inspecting eyes around. To relate a silent story. 41. 39. Sometimes I playfully feel as if immortally I can move around with an elite group, like part of a group of actors and acrobats to relate a silent story. 42. 40. I thought that I was the bard replaced in time again with my memory awakened, thought that night of late was a night of my prior existence which Harold Bloom planned. After believing he was Gonzalo from the Bard's Tempest. 43. 41. Believing that I was reminded that I was the bard, I thought I was better placed and richer, and I thought, in some strange way, that Harold Bloom died that night, as I was believing he was Gonzalo from the Bard's Tempest. 44. 42. Feeling that I was reminded that I was the bard, I thought, placed in my ordered room, that I was restoring my memory bit by bit, and that Harold Bloom planned up this event, knowing me forever, as Gonzalo that yellow morning as I was believing he was Gonzalo from the Bard's Tempest. 45. 43. I believed in the difference that made a difference, that I had somehow forgot something crucial, and, I thought my identity changed, that I would also remain in the apartment, but that the outside would modify to Hawaii. 46. 44. I believed in the difference that made a difference. I thought I was named the bard, and, I believed that the outside atmosphere was modified. 47. 45. I newly believed differently, and, I thought, having the event unfold in my place, that I would bike down to the shore that the outside atmosphere was permanently modified. 48. 46. During that night into day, I remembered friends. I zoomed higher being that I was reminded in time of my Hawaii. 49. 47. During that night into day, my spirits, and I thought of the changing poem, The Auroras of Autumn by Wallace Stevens, and, its sublime and strange perpendicular distances were understood. 50. 48. During that night into day, I remembered, in my searches for cures for spiritual illnesses, to love, and, I newly zoomed the sublime strange heights more of Hawaii. 51. 49. I took, in my apartment, pictures of my art crafts before heavy Yod came to me. He is beautiful, I know, the future Messiah in his next life. 52. 50. I took, in my apartment, pictures of my art crafts, and when he came, heavy Yod, who is the future Messiah in his next life, and who is my beautiful cat now, I loved him. 53. 51. I took, in my apartment, pictures of my art crafts, and heavy Yod who, if he is around, then is, I come and say, a special being who watches me too. 54. 52. We set up the room laboratory using a grid of meaningful art crafts. We organized well to become poetically spiritual doctors. 55. 53. We made the room alive with an interposed grid of paper art crafts, and, the paintings which we had put up, they came to become important. 56. 54. We all of us moved the arrangements on the wall, X-rays of spiritual illnesses of others. The art crafts we, before heavy Yod came, had put up, became a poetic puzzle. 57. 55. Assigned as stay friends, it, in honor I visited this one. Version of love was my Merkaba experience and it was wild. 58. 56. Assigned stay friends, it was in an eternal time this, the system of democratic socialism, it was a time that was and shall be even wilder. 59. 57. Assigned stay friends, I remember it politically was the system of democratic socialism, and it was and shall even be wilder. 60. 58. And it was new and eye-popping, it was what we wanted to know, a hopeful future in the morning after an exciting night. 61. 59. And it was new and eye-popping, as it was for Jacob, the wrestler, who found he wanted more time to be, who also was blessed in the morning after an exciting night. 62. 60. And it was new and eye-popping, it was the timeless stay friends and we wanted a hopeful future, this one of the afterlives. 63. Finus. 64. Other books by the McBrides. The Transcendence. Beauty and Progress. Golfers in Search of a Title. MOAT Fundraising. Charades. And many more. 1. Voyage to Super University. By Taubschbeib. 2. Copyright 2010, William McBride. ISBN 978-0-557-88371-4. 3. 1. They will never make you do anything that you don't want to do, angels always harmonize anew with you, with you. 4. 2. Even in their joking and bossiness, they are angels who harmonize anew with you, with you. 5. 3. Sentimental are not angels, and they have much a sense of humor, they do. 6. 4. Because they are trying poetically to help you understand. Without complaining or using bad words, they manage your life. They are angels who prefer you do not complain and use bad words because they understand you. 7. 5. They will and do help you in the world, angels do help you manage your life, they who are true beings act as teachers. Do because they understand you. 8. 6. You must talk because they will not work alone, the kind. Angels will not do the work alone, you must participate. 2. 9. 7. All humans will have kind angels present, and, as they will always love them, humans must learn to overcome difficulties, but not angels since their difficulties are avoided by love. 10. 8. Thus, humans will speak with angels. If people could just translate the pulses as literature, they would know then their beings. 11. 9. Your sensed memories are known intimately and completely by who else could it be but Hashem, blessed be He, and other angels, the other beings, the other invisible beings. 12. 10. Though I may have put hard work into developing my own best advanced relationships with my own angels' wives, beings, when love is strengthened between them in time, that, for others, the way of having relationships with their own beings can be easier, this I still know. 13. 11. Angels know too when love is strengthened between them. One and all utterances, I say, not only go out but also in. 14. 12. All timeless angels know when love is strengthened between them. And, they know what you think, and, will always stick with the subject matter no matter how fragmentary or whole your thoughts may be, as I still know. 15. 13. Make sure if you do know an angel in your life, that you Know that angel. If you must marry one as a wife or hubby, make that angel a really good friend. 16. 14. When you love them, you are safe in the mind, you are safe. As much as one can possibly be. 17. 15. Angels use pulses and through your body, they contact you. Over and over again. 18. 16. Angels will help keep you motivated, they actually do a kind of childlike cheerleading. In time hatred sounds are bad and dissonant. 19. 17. Angels so therefore do cheer you on, so you must learn how to accept praise. In time hatred's fallen sounds are bad and dissonant. 20. 18. The mind's sound of love is so good emotionally, actually. It is a good sound, and, in time hatred sounds are bad and dissonant. 21. 19. Your purpose in life is triumphantly shared. Just because you may be partially attracted, it is good to know that they are around still, and daily distractions do not disprove the existence or translations of angels. 22. 20. To help you accomplish your goals is what they do, and they will work pleasantly. Your good goals are the same as the angels or angels, the existing angels. 23. 21. Your purpose in life is triumphantly to learn. Yours, they know, is the same as the angels or angels, the existing angels. 24. 22. Without ones to participate in a loving dialogue, one is lost. Without the other, nothing good comes of nothing good. 25. 23. A dialogue to participate in is always possible every time. With angels. 26. 24. The more you thoughtfully participate in it, now, the more you know them, good comes of good. 27. 25. Angels or multiple angels, if you know more than one angel, are kindly there always, and they are always awesome. 28. 26. They are democratic beings as well as fair. And, if you know angels who are there always, and if you disagree on something, they are fair and always love to take a vote. 29. 27. Focusing on translating and interpreting their pulses of your body, if you know angels, there always are chances to learn, which are possibilities for a communicative angel to human relationship. 30. 28. Invisible angels are higher beings, advancing and evolving, and there are always angels, thank Hashem. Blessed be He, above the advancing and evolving human. 31. 29. As a higher beings, an angel, thank Hashem, God of Abraham and Isaac, is always good, an angel is always even above the advancing and evolving human. 32. 30. These higher beings, a little at a time, tell you what is bad. And one needs to know that they can describe all to you anew, and so can you. 33. 31. As if you wish them to be forever, it is good to think about and write down things, and eventual harmony is very good. 34. 32. This is not good, conflict, but harmony of thoughts is very good. 35. 33. Name learning is good, conflict, not at all, and sometimes one is repulsed by it, however learning is never conflict. And is always a harmony and is very good. 36. 34. They, angels, want you to speak, they know Hebrew and are helpers in your need. 37. 35. Angels and more angels want you to be good pragmatists, helping you to make sentences which you need and can remember for the future. They are mighty helpers. 38. 36. They, the invisible angels, want you to speak and to ache sentences for your friends which you can use and remember the future. They are mighty helpers. 39. 37. We should say and write as if the doer and sayer would wish it into being as well. Of the seeds of a sentence, we like to be reminded of, definitely, since new sentences must be interesting enough, you will hear or read. 40. 38. We should say and write as if the doer and sayer would wish it into being as well. Angels like to remind you, definitely, of your old memories, you will see. 41. 39. We should say and write as if the doer and sayer would wish it into being as well. Angels, they also like definitely to play the pleasant game of charades, you will see. 42. 40. Your thoughts and memories, mighty angels have access to. They like to do experiments for their buddy to help her or him to be conscious. 43. 41. Your thoughts and memories they have access in order that their ready buddy be conscious. 44. 42. Above all the mighty beings through the understanding and through Hashem, blessed be he, want and like for their buddy to be conscious. 45. 43. It is best to listen to and to translate and to interpret what is good, and, hope is very good to talk about right now. 46. 44. It is best, a full consciousness of what your living beings are saying. It is what is possible and easygoing, and, it is wise to talk about right now. 47. 45. It is best to know that angels are guides for individuals, by receptive processes which evolve and get better with time. And it is good to talk about it right now. 48. 46. From their wisdom and love they do good always, they need your love anew just as you do theirs. 49. 47. It is important that the angels get and need always your love anew just as you do theirs. 50. 48. An excellent thing, is having friendly guides as them. And, also they love to guide you by loving just as you remember them. 51. 49. I know that I can feel as I would not like, my own thought lost, but my remembered friends there help me return. 52. 50. I saw how I felt when I visited Super University, one kind of permanent afterlife, all of my friends were gathered there. 53. 51. I saw how I felt as I would roll call to remember my friends there. 54. 52. My classroom was around here, I saw that a timeless school starting. 55. 53. As I was playing the piano I loved to play, I called out the names of my remembered friends as school was starting. 56. 54. My classroom is what I, in my building, set up, I remembered the names of my friends, for them to come. 57. 55. I found that the morning's image never was more beautiful and peaceful within my open home. 58. 56. In this Merkaba experience, my imagination prevailed and was activated. It happened right before the construction took place on our apartment complex within my home. 59. 57. In the morning, my imagination activated. It happened that all of my soul's friends would move into the apartment Complex to learn what I could teach within my home. 60. 58. At Vista Landing, my home has happened, it would also become a place where I could play piano jazz music for a population. I saw this in a dream before too. 61. 59. Students to make sculptured stereotomical projects are those whom I have gathered. I saw I would also involve my friends. This was in a dream before too. 62. 60. Students to make sculptural stereotomy are those whom I have gathered. I saw I would involve those who have been here in a dream before too. 63. 61. I was in and out of the political system of super university. Of super university setting an example. Super university has a total harmony of a time without boundaries. 64. 62. I, by being a role model in super university, set an example. We have seen, unafraid, the total harmony of a time without boundaries. 65. 63. I saw how the political system of super university, how super university itself is democratic while capitalistic. 66. 64. A holiday forever, a nobody took to a place where all of the neighbors are good forever. 67. 65. On a holiday forever I found out they would not work, that the rest of the wide world would take off. 68. 66. On holiday forever, I experienced nobody would work. Depending upon how I acted that day, if they would take off the day. 69. 67. At super university, everybody who came had everything they needed, and they knew everything, but like surprises. 70. Finus. 71. More books by the McBrides. The Transcendence. Billy McBride's Marriage to Angels. Beauty and Progress. Ice Cream. And many more. 1. Voyage to Warm Milk. By the McBrides. 2. Copyright 2010, by Billy McBride. ISBN 978-0-557-80640-9. 3. 1. For a few days I reigned as king, I meant well and I had a presence and I thought it would last forever. 4. 2. For a few days in my kingdom on the hill, in these days, I found that I meant well and I had the power to sway the actions of men, and I thought that it would turn into a lasting forever. 5. 3. When I was king, yes, a brave king, in these days it was awesome, and I thought that it would last forever as a poem. 6. 4. But, was a Merkaba experience, it was in time that I had everything of the whole, this was not common to me, and my imagination it activated in this sunny, wild, and earth-like land. 7. 5. For a few days in which I reigned in this strange world, where I was ruler, it was not less that sublime, it appeared that I, beyond my own imagination, was in charge on this sunny, dreamy, and earth-like hill. 8. 6. Stranger than my home felt on earth, this strange world in which I was ruler, where everything alive appeared different for me, all of it was my kingdom, but I knew that it was earth, my own sunny earth. 9. 7. I watched it become put into motion, the Weather Channel. I saw that they quickly came to me all day long, the weather people to see me, the weather people did. 10. 8. And, they were updating me in my apartment with the Weather Channel, the weather people, they knew and came to see me, and I knew all of the weather people, my royal group. 11. 9. I watched how, when I marked the Weather Channel, the weather people to me, they in their calling, were predicting the weather. 12. 10. I found, oh God, that like the weather, with help and means, I could predict people's powerful behavior. 13. 11. That is the reason why they were there. To my surprise, they were there for me to predict how people were, and therefore people here and there became like the weather. 14. 12. I at once had the power, and to me, in reality, to my surprise, like a dart, the power came to help my kingdom do good. 15. 13. On my hill there was a fire at my apartment complex office, where people came to work, and after it, all happened to be safe. From the insurance money they collected, the complex was able to remodel the apartment's exteriors. 16. 14. When they were working on the building, on our building, constructors matching me in the liveliness, worked on what happened to be for months in the year. 17. 15. When they were working on our building, I was at home. When I was at home they built and worked while I happened to be outrageously at home the whole time. 18. 16. In time it looked like a disaster. They all ripped it up in my area, the siding came down and they put up new siding from the old. 19. 17. It was like a disaster, I used to say, while they playing their songs bothered me when they used an empty apartment above me for a workroom as they put up new siding from the old. 20. 18. It looked like a disaster. The place was ripped apart in many ways. I saw how the gathered siding came down and I was deadly scared of Nazism. 21. 19. It gave to my life's troubles one kind of fear, these horrible experiences, a fear which was strange, which I know, and my hope was to flee. 22. 20. I gave me a weird trouble, and when I look back on the outcome I see that it was wrong. What happened, I, as locked up from a plague, know more and more that it was wrong. 23. 21. It gave to me a formal pain, yet once during the construction and after my deadly fear, the trouble was ended, and that was when my Merkaba experience occurred. 24. 22. It is, in these words, a warm milk sleepy experience to become king and ruler. It was and came to be called, in my playfulness, the strange experience of warm milk. 25. 23. It is warm milk, not gold mold, this land of my dominion. It was and came to be called, in my reflections, the strange experience of warm milk. 26. 24. It is called softly warm milk, this green land of my dominion, one of 14 afterlives, and the key is that it came to be called warm milk, a strange experience. 27. 25. They were unquietly above, the construction workers were then above me unquietly using the empty room above me to work each day. 28. 26. Then a bad neighbor came, when the construction workers left, above grave me and drunk much after he moved into his home. 29. 27. All day rain or shine that neighbor above me unquietly stayed, in every weather, home. 30. 28. Joining them to his friends, he threw a fit to all of them. The bad neighbor complained that I was watching the Weather Channel too much. He was listening to me, oh. 31. 29. To his friends, behind my back, he to all of them, the bad neighbor was talking about old me and listening to me. 32. 30. To his friends, behind my back, he sought to throw a fit, the bad neighbor, the thin one, could hear me move around. 33. 31. When I was a high king, ruling from within doors was the one thing that I could do. I was, in the land, a knowing ruler with the ability to judge. 34. 32. By thinking of their names in my rule, I prophesied men's fates, and I was delighted that they gave me the present to rule, the ability to judge. 35. 33. By thinking of their names in my rule I could intelligently tell people what to do and they had to do much about it. 36. 34. In that place there in my home, for those whom I saw or heard out of my window, for those who were the ones around, using my best experience I passed my judgments in my reign. 37. 35. There in my home, for those whom I saw or heard out of my window, were judgments in my balanced rule over the souls such here and there. 38. 36. In that place there were those whom I saw and heard out of my window who were bad, and I was in a position to judge with no deadline which I was on, in my rule, over souls. 39. 37. The many jobs which I had to do I found hope in, so I had come, and I realized I had to fight so that the humiliation of others would end. 40. 38. The job which I had to do I know and accepted to have. And I found I had come to a stagnant community to do good. 41. 39. The job which I had to do I did honorably in bliss, so the job I had was in order, was about in ordering to help others who were the victims of bullies. 42. 40. For others in the land, my utter thoughts reigned. I have read the thoughts which were by myself organized. 43. 41. For others I have read the thoughts and the names. Thousands of great books authors I read and organized anew. 44. 42. For others, mighty Harold Bloom asked fortunately what do you want the characters to do in novels? So by having read thousands of great books, I organized. 45. 43. I knew some people, some friends who were bad. I saw how many people were for the moment bad in actions but not in themselves. 46. 44. I knew some friends of mine were doing bad deeds, and I felt from my head to my feet, like Prospero ruling over people who were bad in actions but not in themselves. 47. 45. I learned much to do from Shakespeare's Tempest. I actually, for a while, knew that I was Prospero who ruled over people who were bad in actions but not in themselves. 48. 46. To be judged by their appearance, everybody present and absent was so meant to be. I knowingly met others who had a destiny because of me. 49. 47. All were to be judged by their appearance within. It was time, and it was simply up to me to have, in my wellness, to verbalize their destinies within me. 50. 48. All men were to be judged by their appearance, all the cars and people passing, good or not, even had one, they had come each to a destiny. 51. 49. I knew all and ruled conclusively, and every wish that I made came true because it was set up through that way. 52. 50. I ruled, in conclusion, from the inside of my home to be their brave king, I was set up to be their ruler. 53. 51. By the help of giving to others, I saw that every wish that I made became true. I was to be their king. I was set up to be their ruler, as in a tale, for a week. 54. 52. There where Queen Elizabeth is your mother and you return to your home on an island and glory with parades for the help you give to others who are present and absent is the place called Warm Milk, and it is definitely a patient and secret mock government monarchical political system. 55. 53. One day, it is in the afterlife, that for the new help you give to others, if you go to Warm Milk, that you may go there permanently. Strange Warm Milk becomes a very good place. 56. 54. It is a very good place. It so happened that overnight and day for the help you give and your beautiful niceness, that you are to be appreciated. It is a very good place, Warm Milk. 57. 55. I find that we have good memories, and now I am reminded often of my well-rounded Merkba experience. 58. 56. I found, O God, blessed be He, that after it happened, and after I was back to my old self, I was lucky, and that year and season I married my 30 angel wives whom I love. 59. 57. We here find for others now places which we know are good for others during their next new life, certain others who go to Warm Milk often like the place of my own well-rounded Merkba experience. 60. 58. In your wait, if you are lucky and kind, Queen Elizabeth maybe will, in that world, be your mom. 61. 59. If you are lucky you may remember too, as an intimation, as I may have over many months remembered the secret hiding places of the rising things. 62. 60. If you lucky and good, to that special shining place one day. Maybe in conclusion you will go to and visit Warm Milk. 63. Finus. 64. Other books by the McBrides. The Transcendence. Beauty and Progress. Happiness. Hawaiian Sonnets and Other Poems. And many more.